I think first 30 minutes, I think we played very well. I think, like you said, it's the last pass, the final pass into the box. We won maybe two, three passes in their box in the first 30 minutes, and nothing came out of it. So I think being a little more ruthless. I think that's what we've been talking about lately, being more ruthless in both boxes. I think today we did well on the defensive end. Obviously, I give a lot of credit to Matt because when we needed him the most, because if we go down that game, now we're pushing and climbing a mountain like we have been. And I think he did a fantastic job the entire game. So
Charleston has a lot of weapons that you have to pay attention to. Obviously, Jennings, Myers, Malloy, Torres, and then Derby Kelly eventually in the end. How do you kind of key on to that many weapons on the pitch?
I think we just staying organized and staying. I know even Mark was yelling at us, discipline. I think the biggest thing with a team that moves the ball well and rotates very well is staying disciplined in your positioning. I think the few times we kind of got disorganized is when they started picking us apart in the second half. Guys are kind of just running everywhere because we're trying to put pressure on the ball and trying to get up a little bit. But I think getting our structured and then going is what helped us in the last game and even in this game. But anytime we start going as ones, I think that's when we kind of fall out of shape and they start picking us apart. But I think in the end we did a decent job of getting a zero. I'd rather get zeros every game, like I always say, and the goals will come. I trust our guys. The goals will come. It's just taking a little longer than we all want, but it is what it is.
So, like you say, Matt had a very impressive performance. It was also his 50th regular season clean sheet of his career. Just what is it
50.
like for a defender to like have that kind of presence like that?
Gives you so much courage, gives you so much motivation, and knowing that your goalkeeper was going to bail you out when he needs to. Obviously, that's his job, but when he's able to pull out one-on-ones twice or three times, it gives you the courage and it makes you want to make sure to help him the best we can on putting pressure on the ball so they're not getting shots. I think we allowed them to have too many shots at the end of the game in the first half, and he's having to make too many saves on our mistakes. When we give the ball away, then they're counterattack. We're giving the ball away when we shouldn't, and that's when pretty much every team has punished us. It's on our mistakes, trying to force a long pass, kicking the balls out of bounds. I think that's what's getting us right now. But in the end, getting a zero is very important, and I'm glad we did.
And then obviously, like you say, what's missing now is the goals. You're obviously not a forward, but you play against all these forwards like in practice all the time. So like you know them pretty well. What do you think is missing in these games for them?
Uh, a lucky bounce. I think just a lucky bounce. They put in work each and every day. I think after at the end of each practice now, Mark's having them do shooting practices every single day after practice, making sure that we're ruthless, hitting the target, whatever it takes, just making sure you hit the target and making sure the keeper makes the save. So we just got to keep going. I think a lot of people get frustrated, even myself, during the game that we're not getting the goals. But I think the patience and the continue to do the right things over and over again, it's what's going to give us success. And I believe that we will have success. It's just taking a little time, and that's all it is.
What can you say about just the overall defensive performance as of late? I mean, it really seems to have stabilized, and y'all have been pretty hard to score against lately.
Staying disciplined, I think we've said it, and keep making sure our structure is correct. If our structure is in our blocks, whether it's up high or down low, it it gives us chances to win the ball back and go forward rather than having us shift back and forth and making sure it's just structure and discipline that we've been focusing on all week. And the more we train this three back system, the better we're getting. And I think, like I said, making sure those little details on communication, especially with the new formation, making sure we're communicating properly. And in the end, it'll come. I know and I believe it'll come. So.
And then one final question, personal for you, just this was your 250th league appearance in the USL Championship. Just what does it mean to you to reach such a high number?
That's hilarious. I didn't know that was. It's a blessing. I think I do. I do a lot of things to make sure that I'm healthy enough to be able to just be on the field. The early on, I wasn't on the field, and it eats me up so much. And just because I try to do everything possible, cold tub, I get in early, I leave late, just to make sure I'm doing all the right things to be on the field. So it's a blessing, and I'm glad that I'm able to do so with a good group of guys. And I still feel like I have so much to learn and so much to grow. So as long as the body's healthy, the mind will be perfect. So just got to keep going.
Just one from me real quick. Obviously, this was your second game in 3 days, and now y'all got or 4 days, and now you got to turn around and have another game this week. And I guess kind of going off what you said about keeping the body healthy mentally and physically, how do y'all make sure y'all stay sharp going to Rhode Island?
Our Dan has been doing a good job of making sure the guys who are playing a lot of minutes to do your yoga, do your cold tubs, everything. Games like this, you look at what you did well, make sure you're watching film, and then it's a quick turnaround, and we just move on. Because too many times, if we lost, you're dwelling on it. If we won, you're getting too high. I think making sure that we stay keen and making sure that we stay sharp and focused on the next task rather than soaking on the past. Like even today, I'll go back, I'll watch the game, and then I'll put it behind me, and then we'll move on. It's just making sure that we keep doing the right things. I know Mark has done a great job of making sure we stay disciplined, and I think if we keep it going, I believe in this group, and even other teams when they talk to me, they believe in this group, and it'll come. I believe it'll come.
So you kind of mentioned Rhode Island a little bit. Obviously, you know Kano. Did you play with Marcos Ugarte?
Yeah, here, my first year, yeah.
And then there's a lot of other familiar faces.
Yeah, Zach, Dequa, I played with all these guys, JJ, Georgia plays on the national team with me, and we're roommates, so I know a lot of these guys, and I know they've been kind of struggling a little bit, but it's a long season, and I'm really looking forward to this game just because they've beaten us every single time, and it eats me up because I know Kano and I know these guys, and they like to talk, especially after and before. So I really want to win this game. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Speaking of Dequa, by the way, when you played with him in St. Louis, he is not the same player as
No.
he is now. What's changed?
I love Dequa. He's like a brother to me. He's like a younger brother to me. The thing with Dequa is he works on his craft every single day, and a lot of guys don't give him credit. And he works. It works. And sometimes he doesn't get the credit he deserves. And I saw the game. I made sure I texted him right after the game when he got his hat trick because sometimes when you put in the work, it'll eventually come, but not against us. So that's what I'm waiting for.